Welcome back to the Point of Difference podcast, the show where you learn about how to be successful in pro sports by people who are successful in pro sports. My name is Angus Henskins.
And I'm Shaq Shora.
And today's guest is former NBL MVP Jaylen Adams.
Excited to be joined by JA and talk to him about his playing experiences, what makes him unique as a player. He's been all over the world and experiences a lot of success in several different countries.
So after this, Jaylen Adams. Welcome, Jaylen Adams, to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. And you are the best player I've ever coached. You paid me to say that.
Yeah.
And also MVP. I'm super excited to have you on the show for a number of reasons. But I think the number one reason is trying to get into how a player like you becomes the player that you are. Shaq and I have talked a lot about, Australian basketball kind of going from strength to strength over the last 15 years. And there's a number of archetypes of player that we have. But one of them that we don't often is your sort of do-it-all offensively point guard where you can shoot and you can drive. And I think in Australia, players are often drivers that shoot or shooters that drive. And there's very few that are as even as you, I think, as a player. So I'm sort of starting hot. But as you sort of begin playing basketball and as you develop, how do you develop this sort of game?
I think a big part of it I owe to my dad. He was a high school basketball coach when I was a kid, and he coached me at AAU too for a number of years. And yeah, he put the ball in my hand and kind of just taught me everything I needed to know. And it was like just so thought out and just like in order that, it just felt like I was getting better at one thing while still working on a bunch of other things. And then you'd really focus on another thing. So like the first thing I really learned how to do was like pass. Like he used to have like a toss back in my basement, and it would just be dribble, and he'd clap and throw it off toss back, catch it, and go the other way and do it again. So I think that's how like it all started. Like it started from a video game. Like he used to, how when you play on like 2K, you just want to play with like the best player and shoot like crazy shots. Yeah. But like he used to like leave people wide open like and make me like
find the play.
Yeah. So like
that's really cool.
Yeah, so it was just like from jump I just thought it was really thought out. And second thing I learned how to do was dribble and shoot at the same time. It was kind of like passing and dribbling. And then like shooting was just like there the whole time. And it's just something that you just get more confident in. And, and then I played in a tough basketball environment. Like when I was growing up, I feel like that was like the prime of like DMV hoops. Like it was an AAU tournament every weekend. Like parents are yelling on the sideline at referees at the other team. But I'm talking as like an 8-year-old.
Yes, right. Yes,
so
they take it serious.
It was taken very, very serious. So, yeah, I attribute a lot to my father for sure. There's a lot of hard work, early mornings, late nights, and the rest probably to my environment is growing up, having like certain players are good. You just take things from certain players, and then I felt like a lot of guards in the city just kind of played the same. And like my dad, like didn't even necessarily want that. He didn't even want me to play AAU when I was young, because he thought I just needed to work out and get better. And I used to go to the park and play against like grown men when I was like 12, and it would just be me and a couple of my boys. But imagine like a 30-year-old, I don't know, however old he was, 30-some-year-old playing with like 4 12-year-olds.
Yeah, on the street, on the park.
In the park.
Yeah.
And we would win games. So that it was just, it was a lot of steps. It's hard to put it all into just one big picture, but
for sure.
But definitely, I would say my environment and my pops.
Can we explore more of the freedom you play with, right? Like, we're talking about how different your game style is to what kind of people get taught over here, the pathway here. So your good shots are different to what we get told a good shot is. Like your ability to play off pick and roll, your like floater game, the ability to get to your midi. Can you talk to us more about that? Like, where do you pick these things up?
Confidence, like just as it grows. Like I promise, like I wasn't a scorer at all going into college. Like I would say maybe like my last year of high school was probably like when I really figured out how to score a little more. And it just kept growing. I went to a mid-major school and I got the opportunity to play 40 minutes as a freshman. And it's just something that you learn from playing with other good players and continuing to work the whole time. And it just kind of just came with it. Like I didn't shoot floaters in college. Like I probably didn't even get that until like 3-4 years ago.
Right.
And middies have always been like weird shots, you know. The coaches will tell you nowadays like it's a bad shot. So like, you know, it's weird. It's just a confidence thing. You just keep building. I think one thing that I like have prided myself on just over the years has been like working out in the summer. And whatever I have, like I just want to add 3 new things. Like and my dad says you really only have time for about 3 new things every summer. Like if you really want to get better at them. So I think just choosing the right things and staying in the gym has just made some of those shots just, you know, feel like easy shots and a lot of confidence.
You're talking about summer workouts. Is this with your dad? Does he still train you?
Not as much. Like it's kind of easier now. Like we have a gym, and 2 doors down from it is like a CrossFit. So like I'll just lift.
Just get both in.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
In the morning, then walk down there, and it'll be 2 guns. Me and my little brother will just fire away. Try to get like 1,000. We get up 1,000 and then come back at night, get up another 1,000. And then from there, it's like it's not much nuance to it other than that. Just being in the gym.
When you talk about like you're trying to add things to your game, I mean, this kind of comes back to what we were just talking about. I remember when I was like growing up and watching NBA games, and I'd be like, you know, I was watching the Lakers because it was that time of sort of my of the NBA, and you know, Kobe's hitting middies, and I'm like, I want to do that. And Dad's like, no, you don't. Watch the way Eddie House shoots those catch and shoot threes. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. That's where I am. So how do you, and you talk about it now, you want to add 3 things, but I'm sure it was the same then. You know, I want to add this to my game. Where do you think that inspiration comes from?
I just wanted to be the best basketball player. I just want to see like, what's the limit? You know, where's the like how good can you get? And you know, and I like to play anywhere. I've been here for a while, so I think 3 years now. So like I've liked this league a lot, and it's allowed me to like grow my game even more and more and more. Because I've always had the ball in my hand. I've always been the decision maker, and sometimes even the primary scorer on the team. So, it's picking those things. I think it's kind of just based on like, me and my dad used to watch a lot of film, so it was easier like growing up. And it was like, I remember there was a player named Akil Carr. I don't know if y'all remember him.
He's tiny, right?
Crime Stopper.
Yeah.
And he was like, all he used to do is like he was so athletic, so he can get in the lane and like he would just make these crazy layups. Like, so I remember going into college, like that's what everybody around was like trying to do, like make the toughest layup, and then like you realize by the time I got to the NBA, I'm like, nah, these are athletic 7-footers down here. Like that layup stuff is dead.
Just getting swatted.
Yeah, so like that's how like the floater came about, and just watching Trae Young a lot, and he just played floater lob like my whole rookie year, just watching him. Like the read looked so easy for him as a rookie, and I was just like, I worked all summer at it, and it just got better and better. And so it'll be stuff like that where it's just I still want to pick different things, pick things from other guys' game. I think that's a big part of it too, is what works for other guys.
I want to dive deeper into one particular aspect, like having watched you play both this season, your first year here, your ability to go right and draw contact while doing that. Like I think no one in this league is as good as that. Maybe Bryce as well. But how do you actually do it? Have the ability to keep running and draw contact, and then also if like pick and rolls where you snake and you get the defender on your back, you still draw contact and get to the line. Like it's an elite skill as a guard.
Yeah. Well, they didn't call a bunch of those for me. I
think maybe some refs are listening to this.
But sure, I don't know. It's just I think ever since a kid, like I was just taught to play with a lot of physicality. So, like my dad used to say, it was a football term. You just beat a hammer, not the nail. So, like you make the contact and put the ref
in that decision making spot,
weird position, you know. And then if you do it over and over and over again, then eventually they're gonna be like, all right, like that is a lot of contact. Or you might not get a couple, but you certainly will. So, I think that's just how it was. I grew up with jumping through a pad, like
like
you know what I'm saying, playing with a pad on you. My dad's got this weird thing, like I remember when he first brought it, and I was like, this dude's crazy. It's like a Bosu ball, and he would just make the other person hold it.
Oh yeah,
so like you know what I'm saying, like if you don't play physical, like you gonna fall. You're gonna end up on your ass. So it was just like just little things like that I think you just keep picking up on, and then, like I said, once it works a couple of times, and you trust it, and you get better at it, and you get more confident, and that's how it works. Yeah,
definitely. And I think that's you sort of you coming up against. Okay, I can't do this any longer. What other people do to find the solution in this, and then going from there. I really like that sort of thought process when you're kind of growing as a player. A lot of it sounds like it's with the ball in your hands, like you say, and you said you had that opportunity. With the Bonnies in college and from a freshman year. So that sort of, I had a brief look at your college stats. You improved quite a bit towards the back end of that. A lot of that based on ball in your hands, plus coaching, plus teammates, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Natural progression.
Probably a good mix.
Yeah.
Probably a good mix. Coach trusted me a lot. Like, and he wanted me to have the ball. And there'd be times like if I passed it, or like even at the end of the game, we could be up 10, and I still have a video on my phone, but like I just waved, the game's over. It's like 15 seconds, but somebody else has the ball at the top of the key, like, and he just like, once he saw me waving, he's yelling, "Go get the ball!" And he's like, "Nah." Like, he's like throws a panic attack. Like,
Yeah.
So like, I think a lot of it was like the system was kind of, it was pick and roll.
Yeah.
Especially later, like my last 3 years, it was a lot more pick and roll with somebody playing like opposite dunker. So he gave me a lot of freedom for sure, and I think that helped out a lot. And I think I was really getting better and just more confident. So like it just kind of went hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of you playing pick and roll in the NBL as well. It sounds like you had a lot of that throughout that whole career. Okay, so then. From there, you go undrafted and you begin that career in the G League and the NBA. Was that like a triumphant moment for you, or did you feel like here's the next challenge, like let's go from here?
It was cool. I probably lived it up for like, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 days. Like where you just really you're enjoying it, you know, like it's exciting. I got a chance to go to a new city I've never really lived in. But yeah, I think it was just more when I got there. It just meant like it was more work to be done. So when I got there, it was just the same thing. Like, you know, just way nicer facilities. Like, there's cold tubs and hot tubs. There's like pools, like weight room, and all you got to do is scan it with your thumb. So it's like it was like heaven once I got up there. And the G League was kind of the same thing. I had like an up and down first year in the G League, but they like changed my 2-way contract to a full contract. So I think that was in like February, like right before All-Star.
That's with the Hawks? Yeah.
So I just finished the year with them. And I think I just learned a lot just from those like 3 months, because the next season might have been the best season of my career.
100%. Well, I want to get into that. I want to get into that because, like, it's funny now. I've looked at that team and it's like an NBL All-Star team. It's like you got half of those guys that played in the NBL at some point, plus a coach. It's funny how that happens to me. But anyway, that whole year, like I've heard snippets, and I've heard that it was a really successful year. The backcourt, the dogs, the identity that group had. How do you think that came to fruition? Do you think it was, coaches are always trying to build that sort of environment where you push each other and, you have an identity and you work towards it as a group, but it can't happen, A, without good coaching, but B, without buy-in from the team?
for sure. We talking about Sydney, right?
I was talking about
Wisconsin.
the Herd.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess then we talk about 2 years of
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
success.
2
From your
years.
individual
Yeah.
standpoint, it was
For
probably
sure.
the second year there was more. But like, let's go G League, then talk about that.
Yeah, G League, that was crazy. It was just a crazy experience. Like, 'cause it was a bunch of good dudes, but like you said, we was just dogs. Like, the backcourt was crazy. We had like 3 dudes averaging 23, I think.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, crazy.
You got a dude averaging like a near triple-double. Somebody else shooting like 45 from 3.
Yeah.
Like, DJ Wilson comes down and he's averaging like 24 and 12. Like, it was just, I just felt like we couldn't lose. We lost a couple games, but it was like no matter who was there, hurt or not, it's just next man up all the way to like the last man on the bench. Like, DJ Hogue was on that team. And he came off the bench for the majority of the season. So yeah, it was crazy, man. I learned a lot from Frank too. Tuck was just a super athlete. He was over here, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And that team was crazy. And I think Chase did just a good job of just managing the many personalities on that team. Like, it was a bunch of wild personalities on that team. And I think he just did a great job just of making it fun for us, but like making sure that we kept winning as the main thing and going out and competing. And he was perfect for the job. So yeah, man, I was grateful for him for that year because we ended up having a good year.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the following year, right? Talk to us, Sydney. What was the transition like and the success that followed?
The transition was smooth, and I think it was because of Chase. It's playing for a coach that, like, Chase was young, so like we just both really competitive. Like, and sometimes it came out the right way, sometimes it came out the wrong way. But yeah, man, Chase he made it real easy for me. And then I had RJ Hunter, who I was with my rookie year in Atlanta training camp. And he played with me on that G League. So he ended up playing on that G League team my rookie year too. So I had like 2 dudes that I really knew just coming into it. And then Rel,
easiest guy to get along with in the world.
Cool as a fan, man. He cool as a fan. So it was just smooth transition. Then all the Australian guys were cool. So it was really easy transition. And I think that's what like began the start of success a little bit, because we didn't start the year great. But
yeah. So talking about that and like, I mean, first off, was Australia ever on your mind? Where were you in your career that you thought, all right, maybe I'll give this a try?
I knew that I was going to be overseas. I don't even remember the direct order of it, but I think we was having that great year in Wisconsin, but it was COVID year.
Yeah.
So it just shut. Like, nobody knew what to do. Like, it was like literally we played one game, and then like I still remember the last game we played. We played our last game at home, and then like everybody's hearing about COVID a little bit, but like so like games start getting canceled a little bit, and then it just goes from like game canceled to y'all got 3 days to get home. Like, we don't want y'all stuck up here, and it was that fast that. So we just like, season gonna come back. Like, they talking about a bubble, never came back. So I think I was on vacation at the time. After I went home for a little bit. Yeah. I think this is the order. I'm pretty sure, but I was at home. Now I went on vacation, and then I got like a random call. And it was the Blazers GM. And he was like, we're going to bring you in, for the bubble. And that's how I got in the bubble. Played with Portland.
Yeah, cool.
And so after that, it comes to Sydney, I think.
So
I just remember after the bubble, it either like ended really early or something like that, or it was like in between. No, I'm lying. I went to Milwaukee after that. And then after Milwaukee, so it was Wisconsin, the Portland bubble, and then back to Milwaukee. And then halfway through the year, I was about to go overseas to Greece, and it didn't end up happening. So I knew like I was about to start making that overseas transition.
Gotcha.
And Chase called. Just a spot for you if you want it.
Yeah, he was a bit of a J.A. whisperer. He could get into your head like very few.
For sure.
And we talk about start of that year was tough. I mean, for the team as well as yourself. And then there was a flip that was switched. Was that Brisbane game. But I actually think it was deeper than that. I think Chase had some conversations with you around that time about it. Is there something you can pick, or was it a bit of everything?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember. Like, the thing with Chase, like, he's a real positive dude. But, like, with me, like, I don't know, it's like he just knew what buttons to press. Like, I don't always got to tell him, like, he's a good basketball player. Like, so I remember he pulled me in the office, and he was just like, and I was coming off an injury, too. So, like, you know, I was working my way back from the ankle. So, like, I'm thinking, like, all right, this dude's going to give me some time. Like, he rocks with me. And he put me in the office, and he was like, maybe I brought the wrong player over here. That, and it was just like something short as that. Like, I'm like, what? I looked at him, like, what? Like, maybe I brought the wrong guy. Like, and I was just like, oh no, Chase. Like, that's a lot. Like, But like, we ended up talking like a little bit after, like trying to tell him like I'm coming back. Like, and after that, I promise. I think the next game was Brisbane. I think it just clicked that fast. It was on. It was ready to go. Next practice was crazy. I wasn't saying nothing to nobody. Like, I kept looking at him every time I scored. So he just knew. He definitely knew how to like just fire me up. That I don't need the positivity all the time. You can call me a bum if you want. Like, but I think there was a connection there that allowed him to push my buttons though. Like I trusted him a lot. So
can we then talk about after that season, obviously MVP championship kind of expanded the regions, right? That was the EuroLeague stint. China, can you talk to us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, for sure. I learned a lot from EuroLeague. I didn't play a bunch, but like the environment was just so crazy. Like I was in Red Star in Belgrade, Serbia. And the experience was just nuts. Like something I've never seen before. Like it's police officers with riot shields at the games. They putting laser pointers in your eye on free throws. Like, it was crazy.
Death threats if you're not playing well or playing well.
Sure. Either or.
Either way, they're coming at you.
Always lose.
One of them teams. So it was a great experience though, and it was a fun year. Like I really liked the city, believe it or not. But yeah, it was a great experience. I learned a lot. China, not so much. Like, I just did not like living in China. But like, still, it was just a different brand of basketball that like forces you to adapt. And I think I've been pretty good at that in my career. Just different coaches, different situations, and teammates and styles of play. So I think that was like a focus for me. Those 2 years was you get to China and you're playing a lot of ISO and a lot of you have to score the ball. And in Serbia, it's the opposite. It's like we just want you to get the ball to our shooters, like be a good point guard, play some defense, and like that was just something new coming off of what the 2 years that I just had. And so, but I enjoyed it, and I think I'm a better player for it, and a more mature person as well. So those were the 2 stints, and then I'm back here.
Sure. We talked about a lot of teams, so it's time to put your GM hat on. Okay? All-time starting 5.
Ever.
Your teammates.
My teammates.
Yeah. So not you.
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay. My teammates. Damn.
Yeah.
That's hard. Like I want to go. Like I think I'm gonna just go guys that like when I actually played that because I could go like Trey Young.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can go about it either way. But
like,
so far, most have just gone like players that he actually played with, like college a lot.
For sure. Frank at the 1.
Yeah.
Frank Fed at the 1. My boy Matt Mobley at the 2. He was my 2 guard at Bonnie's.
At Bonnie's?
Yeah.
What's he doing now?
I don't know. But I'm sure he can still get a bucket though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Courtney Stockett at the 3.
Courtney Stockett.
His name Courtney Stockett.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be Wani.
Yeah, okay. He can come out the bench for the team.
He's 6 man. He's 6 man.
I see 6 man for sure, but you have to start 5.
Nah.
Maybe the 6 man on any team I ever built. I might go at the 4. I'm gonna go Alex Poitras.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Alex Poitras.
Yep.
Where'd you play together?
Rookie year in the G League in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go AP at the 4. I'm gonna go Red at the 5.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get money at the 5.
Hey now.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. Solid 5 right there.
Wani, talk to us. Well, I mean, it's so funny. I watch it. It's like, it's just hilarious. Every game, it's just a religious thing. It's just got to happen when the Kings play the Hawks and you guys are there.
Yeah, every time. That's my boy. Like,
Yeah.
no other way to put it.
Yeah.
That's my boy. But yeah, he's a good defender.
Gets up in your grill.
He gets in your face. Like,
Yeah.
He loved the little extracurricular bumps.
Oh, yeah.
Like little sneak bumps and stuff. So I ain't gonna lie, last game he just pushed my buttons a little too much.
Yeah.
And we was losing, so
Yeah.
I was like, nah. And I wasn't aiming for him for his eye. But
Yeah, no.
but I caught him in there though. But yeah, that's my boy wholeheartedly.
Well,
He
yeah,
hit me right after the game.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
it.
That's my dog.
That's good.
No, we love Wani. We love Wani.
For sure.
Okay, so after China, you come back here,
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening to one of the other podcasts you did, and Paul Smith was talking about how he really pursued you more than probably you ever have before.
By owner for sure.
But yeah,
For sure.
yeah, obviously, we have a lot of love for you here, and it's a very different. These 2 years have been very different, obviously, to that first year.
For sure.
How do you approach that kind of? All right, it was like this. Now I've got to look at it through a different lens, and it's more difficult, but it's a different type of challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like both coaches, one more than the other, I had just had trust in me still to play my game and make decisions, and I think that goes along. That's enough for me. You can tell me what you want to tell me, but just keep the confidence high, and the morale of the team. I think both years was just haven't been the same, just morale wise, all the way. And everybody's been good dudes. It's nobody's fault, but and maybe it's winning does, it changes a lot, and it has a lot to do with the chemistry and morale when you win a game. So, I think the biggest thing for me was just I wanted to be a better leader. I wanted to be vocal. I wanted to help Tuli. I wanted to help JG. I wanted to just be that guy that I really didn't have to be on that first Kings team.
Definitely.
Just kind of just show up and
Get buckets.
Buckets, win a championship.
You don't gotta say much, you don't gotta do much. Just chill. So I think I'm naturally have a lot of energy anyway. I'm always pretty excited, especially in the basketball gym. So yeah, I just think that's what the last 2 years have been more than anything for me. Was I really wanted to help the young guys just learn and be their best version of themselves. And I think I've done that to an extent. So
I want to pick on the point where you said, winning kind of increases morale. What do you think comes first? Is it the winning, then the morale, or is it morale and winning? Kind of chicken and the egg,
It's a good question. I genuinely think they just hand in hand. One impacts the other. You need morale for sure. But I see teams in the league that just don't look like they hang out or chill. And I talk to other imports, and I know there's teams that just aren't connected, but win games. And so I would go winning for sure.
Yeah, winning hinges everything, right?
Sure.
You don't have to worry about anything when you win.
Yeah, you don't got to be best friends to win.
Yeah, I think about that a lot because I feel like a lot of teams start the year with good morale because no one's mad about playing time or coaches' decisions in preseason usually, and you start that sort of way and everyone's juiced up, and then sort of you get punched in the mouth once or twice and you figure out what's going on. And I like that you talk about sort of being an influence to the younger players, because we talk a lot about, how you can work on your game, and you're super receptive. I think that's such an important trait to have about yourself if you're then going to be the one trying to be an influence on other people. Like, I'm willing to take it as much as I'm willing to dish it out.
No Diddy.
Yeah. No Diddy. How have you found Tui in particular?
I love Tui. That's my little dude right there. Hard worker. And he got so much game. Like, it's just like so much. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, future's just so bright. Man. He's a good kid. Works his ass off. And he's a good player. And he's pretty weird dude, but
yeah, he is.
But he's just quirky.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. Weird.
Good. You know,
you gotta have that in you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I love Tui, man. I hope he thrives in wherever he goes next, and I enjoyed playing with him these last 2 years for sure. So yeah, man, it's my little bro right there.
Rapid fire questions, Jay.
Okay. I gotta pick.
No.
Y'all pick.
Your answer.
Okay.
All right, we got 10, and we're going to count wrong.
All
right, when you're ready.
All right, books or movies?
Movies.
What's your free throw routine?
3 bounces, spin. 3 bounces, spin in hand.
Subway or McDonald's?
Subway or McDonald's. Subway pregame, but that's the only time I eat Subway.
Do you eat McDonald's?
Yeah.
What sport are you best at other than basketball?
Football.
What position?
All of them.
Oh, coffee order.
I don't drink coffee.
What do you drink then?
Pre-workout.
What's the capital of Brazil?
What? I don't know. Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, no.
That's a good guess.
That was a good guess, though. Big city.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
What colours on a South African flag? There's 6 of them.
On a who?
South Africa, the flag, the country.
Oh, South Africa. I thought you said on any African flag.
Oh.
How am I supposed to go about that one? South Africa.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yep.
Yellow. Green. White.
You short circuiting over there.
That's it. I don't want to say red.
That's it. You red?
Red's on it.
You're there.
Red's
One more.
on there. Fucking flag is this? Black.
Bang, you got all of them, yeah?
Bro,
That's
Like
huge.
that.
dude, Americans know geography.
We
Don't tell
might
me
need
they
2
don't.
episodes just for that.
Just for
Something like that.
All right, mountains or beach?
Neither, but if I had to pick beach.
All right.
Neither.
Huge. That's
Crazy.
10
That was 10?
questions. Yeah.
Mate, well done.
I want to talk about what's next in terms of your game. You said 3 things per summer. Have you given any thoughts this off season? Anything in particular you're going to dial in on?
For sure. Moving without the ball. Just general conditioning, I feel like it will help with that. That's not really it. I feel like those are hand in hand, but just being able to move without the ball. Left hand lobs. Just left hand action. Just left hand action at the rim and just being able to make a pass.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make all the passes I can make with my right hand.
With your left. Yeah. Mirror
right.
it. Yeah. I mean,
Spot
those are
up
2.
will be there.
Yeah, that's always
Spot
a
up.
thing. No, but those 2 are like legit. And what I love about it is that they're so specific, right? Like you hear athletes going through and it's like, got to work on everything. But it's like, you obviously know your game. You know what you're about. You're talking about like, okay, I have success going right, throwing these. Like, how do I now replicate it going left?
Sure.
What would it look like on a, I guess, day-to-day basis in terms of your workouts? Is this something you dictate and like tell your trainer, this is what I want to work on? Or do you kind of give them the reins to structure it around those points of emphasis?
A little bit of both. I'll say what I want to work on or come up with 3. And then like we'll like work together to see how we can work on it in particular. And then I kind of just let him freelance, and I let him really decide. And then like if I don't like it, I'll say we might need to tweak it a little bit like this, because he's like, I feel like everything that I work on and everything that I like or have just in the past, like my little brother's done the same things differently. He's a little bit bigger, but like my cousin is playing right now in France. He's done the same things. And then like all the kids that come after me, I feel like they're just in better hands, because it's like I feel like everything that I was doing was so like raw and firsthand. Like we had never done it before, and we're just trying to figure it out as we go, learn from others. But now I feel like it's somewhat of a blueprint now. So like the person that comes after me and goes in the gym, like it's just more defined, and I feel like a little more detailed, especially for a child. And that's important in child's development for real.
Definitely. On the topic of sort of your skills, we talk a lot on the show about jump shooting and how people feel like they are best prepared to shoot successfully. And you've had times, especially with the Kings, where it feels like you're shooting 60% from three and where it feels like you can't hit one. What do you think it is that makes you feel like, okay, I'm on now, I feel good about my jump shot, or maybe not the other way?
Nobody likes to miss the first couple, you know? Like, and I don't really like call myself like a volume shooter. Like I don't like maybe like 15 shots a night. It's been like that my whole career. Like it was never like I took a bunch of shots. So like if you can't get those first like open ones to go down, like now you got to get to the line. Now like you might be rushing it, or you just overthinking it. Like so, I think if you really go back and look at it, like if I got to the line, I got a lay, and next thing you know, I shot four. My first shots was 4 free throws, a floater, and a layup. Now it feel like an ocean. I might just shoot a step back just cause I feel like I'm going. But that's something I want to work on mentally too. This summer is just continuing to just take the same shots regardless. I think I could have took a lot more threes this year. I think me and you both talked about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
And I know that you used to do heaps of these like real like interesting footwork into jump shot stuff before the games, like hopping and stepping forwards, backwards, sideways, and all that type of stuff. Is that stuff that you do to get in that sort of rhythm?
Yeah, I think it's just like more about like balance. Like I try to work shooting off both hands, quick pickups, in case like you get a fumble or a bad pass.
Yeah.
Might somebody throw some bad ones. My feet just aren't set.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just really about balance and making sure that I was shooting straight no matter what the balance was doing. Nobody likes missing left and right.
Yeah, I love that, because I think like there's so many factors in jump shooting and like the pickup. Which hand am I dribbling with? Is the pass good? And I find, you know, if you just do spot shooting, you lose a lot of those other factors. And like you say, is it my first shot? Have I already seen the ball go through? Is it a free throw?
For sure.
Yeah, there's heaps going on there.
I remember rocking up to a gym and seeing you there and you shooting with a heavy ball. And I heard that this was something that your dad implemented, right? Is that correct? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, I really don't know like how it started, but like it just became like this thing. It was just how we warmed up every day and like go get the heavy ball. And it went from like actually shooting on the rim to like next thing you know, we would shoot at the side of the backboard, and like you gotta hit like the nail at the top. I'm talking about shooting like threes and you gotta hit the nail at the top.
With the heavy
pushing,
And I'm like, man, hell no.
What do you think it actually had some sort of like correlation to your shot? Like, did it feel like it was helping?
I feel like it's all about confidence. Like, the nail's this big, like the rim is huge compared to that nail, and like it's like the same kind of art. So like it's just a confidence thing. Like you start doing stuff like that, and then next thing you know, we shooting the heavy ball over like there's poles in the back of a court and you got to hit the nails on the back of the rim over. Like it used to be just like
Crazy.
it's like mental.
Yeah.
It's like it was clearly doing something, but like I feel like it was a lot of just like mental stuff. It was just like the next challenge and the next challenge where you just mad. Like.
So a follow-up question on that. What advice would you give to young players like regarding confidence? How do you gain confidence?
Through your work. Through your work is my easiest answer. I think the more you work on the same things and the boring things, and they become more natural, and then you build on it when you go play, and it's like small wins. Like, you know, if not everybody's gonna go get 40, but like if you're 8, you know what I'm saying, or 10 or however old, and like you get a small one, you work hard, and then you play in a game and you score 7 points and you never have or something like that, or you just make somebody fall. Like it's just like the little wins like that just take you to the next win and the next win and the next win. Once you've like just compounded enough wins, like, you know, you just stand a little taller. Like you can do something, and you just got to be working the whole time when you do it. So the confidence, once the confidence matches like the skill level and the work, like it's 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a really good player.
That's it. Jay, thank you very much for your time and your insights, mate. And,
appreciate it.
All the best going forward.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for having me, dude.
Thank you, brother.
For sure.